So being able to have the value conversation at the table, at our consultation.
Yes, at the consultation. Just making sure, it's like, okay, here's our value. This is why this is why, So.
Because we're not doing that over the phone, right?
No, I haven't done it over the phone.
Thank you. Don't do it. Because we don't want to be talking about commissions, BDAs, buyer agency agreements over the phone. We don't want to be doing that stuff. We want to be doing what over the phone?
Setting the appointment.
Setting the appointment. That's goal number one. However, in doing so, what do we do?
Well, you're selling yourself. The setting the process up, right?
Can I say no?
Okay. Tell me
yes. Okay. So we're building a relationship.
Okay.
We're not selling ourselves. If you do that, I think you're going to lose more times than you'll win. Don't sell yourself. There's no reason to sell yourself. You're on the phone with them as the professional. That's sell enough, right? They do not have a real estate degree. They do not have a real estate license. They do not have 60 years of experience in the business. They don't practice role play. They don't practice appraisal. They don't do any of that. So at the end of the day, you guys are the professionals. That's all the selling you need to do. If you're trying to sell yourself on the phone, what do you sound like? Salesman. And we're not that, because we don't work in sales. I know the government and the industry tries to tell you otherwise, that we're salespeople, yet we're not. Do we have a product to sell?
Yes, we do.
We don't.
We have a product. Well, real estate. We're selling real estate.
But we don't own that product.
No,
but our client does, right? So if our client owns the product, do we even control the price? Do we set the price? Say no. The market does, and what the buyers are willing to pay does. That's complete opposite to what if I go to Target and try to buy something off the shelf. We're not salespeople.
Okay.
We're consultants. We are the intermediary. We are the conduit between two parties transferring wealth. That's what we are. We're hired negotiators. If your value is I can show you a home better than anybody else, you lost. They don't hire you for that. In fact, Zillow can do that now. They hire you to protect and grow their financial wealth. And that's negotiations. And the best form of negotiation is silence. So when you're trying to sell yourself to somebody on the phone, you're actually being a poor negotiator. And that's why we lose. When we win is when we already go into the conversation, the mindset. They're here to work with me, period. Talk strategy, because they tune into what's in it for them. They don't care about you and your business. They care about how you're going to help them, right? So, do we want to do value conversation, BBA conversation? Want to dig into that?
Yeah, let's do. Okay. Let's get into one of those. I'd like to hear it.
Okay. So we'll start there, and we'll work our way back to the initial call, right? To make sure that we're having those conversations, setting up the appointment correctly. Good with that? Yeah. All right. So when you hear the word value and buyer's agency agreement, what's the feeling? Jeff, do you want to move out of the sun, or do you?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Just see it in your face the whole time.
I got it blocked. When you hear that, some people kind of cringe. Maybe they hear it as a legal document. I've got to sign up. Something.
Okay. Got to sign up.
Yeah.
And have you ever signed up for something before?
Yes.
Have you ever bought a car before?
Yes.
Have you ever bought a home before?
Yes.
Have you ever signed up for a subscription service before?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever signed an application for a job?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everyone does this. So we've got to take the cringiness out of it, right? Skibbity, does that mean cringe?
Oh.
I don't know.
Cringe. That's the generation.
I hate my generation so much for that creation.
Cringe.
Oh my gosh.
That's so sus.
That was also just as bad. Oh
so
my
sus,
gosh.
man.
Yeah.
So anyway, back on topic. So we've all done it. Everyone's done it, right? So it's a formality. Now, nobody likes a formality either because they like value. So when if we were to go sign something, right? Like we're going to buy a car and they have this form in front of us. What's the reason we're going to sign that? The value is we get the car. The value is I like the numbers. The value is I like the terms and conditions and the extras I'm getting for buying the car. It's the same with your BDA, except we're not used car salesmen. and we're not even selling anything. We're negotiators. So when we dig into our value, we need to have a strong value proposition that is surrounded by what they're looking for. And how do we figure out what they're looking for?
You have to dig deep, ask questions.
Exactly. So that's what I want to start with right now. And I'm going to start with you two back and forth, and then I'm going to jump in. So I want you, since you're the agent right now, I want you to be the consumer and you to be the agent.
Gotcha.
And I want you, Jeff, to ask Liam what's important to him and what would make this real estate transaction a massive success and win by working with you.
Okay. Liam, it's so good to meet you. I'm glad we set up this time to consult on, get together and look at this piece of property here. Tell me about your process for searching. Where did this start at? When did you start?
It started with a conversation with my old lady. We were looking for our first house. We're getting ready to have kids, We want to find somewhere where we can start a family, start to grow, get into the community.
Yeah.
So that's where our search really started right there, is with that one conversation.
Absolutely. So you're married, no kids, and so you're looking for a certain size house. You're looking for a starter home. Is that kind of?
Yes, a starter home, probably 2-bedroom. Not exactly sure about anything else. Just no, I want to have a room and a guest.
Okay, absolutely. Well, we've got a lot of homes up here, a lot of cabins up here, a lot of places to look at there. Tell me, when you're looking at this cabin, we've got different styles, rustic to modern. What's the most important for you in looking for the home?
I'd say probably modern. On the inside, I'm not a fan of the all wood finishings because I used to live in a cabin with my family, and a lot of the maintenance was very difficult whenever the water got to the wood and mold started growing. Made it really, really difficult for us to fix things because you have to rip out the entire wall to find where the mold is going and what it's growing into. So it caused a lot of frustration. So I'd really like to avoid something like that.
So your biggest concern is just low maintenance. That's
Yes, low maintenance.
For modern, low maintenance, and so
yes.
Very good.
Right direction.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Mental notes.
Yeah. So I guess we're looking for modern and what's I guess let's say move on to what's your next biggest besides style and all that. Are we looking for price on this? Is this
price isn't really a worry. Just I've looked into the area, so I know the average sale price, and I know what the houses are going for up here. It's mainly a space worry for me. I just wanted to make sure I have enough space for my family for the holidays and for events, and I want to make sure that whenever people come over, that I can keep them there.
So entertaining. Entertaining. You guys like to entertain. Well, that's fantastic.
So let's pause. Jeff, what are 3 main things that you've pulled out of what he said so far?
Well, he's married, no kids.
Okay.
And he's looking for modern. He does not want to have any maintenance on things.
Low maintenance.
And he loves to entertain, so he wants some space for that.
So friends and family are important.
Friends and family.
Maintenance and modern.
And he's, you're going to be looking at adding a family at some point there. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned really price isn't a factor, right?
Yeah.
He understands what's happening in the area.
Right.
So, with that being said, those are your 3 things. Now, we need to provide a value proposition to him based on those 3 things that will get him to want to sign the contract to work exclusively with you.
Okay. Well, typically, this is where I've done in the past, and you're kind of leading me in a little bit different direction there, selling myself and what I've done, and I'm not trying to boast or anything, but it's just like I want you to feel comfortable with me because I've been, experiencing the market. Is that something?
Oh, I thought you were real playing that. I thought that was going to be brilliant. I thought he was talking to you. So do exactly what you just did. So let me role play that real quick.
Yeah.
Liam, normally right here is when I try to sell myself to you and this and that. However, hearing what you just told me, I think we're going to be a perfect fit, and I'm so excited to work with you. I want you to be just as excited to work with me. So instead of going into selling, saying, you know what, I normally do this, however, I think we're a perfect fit. I think I can make this a great experience for you. Let's do that.
Okay.
Close down.
Yeah.
Because is Liam, I saw a smile go on his face when I was doing that, is Liam going to be more excited to work with you if you're excited to work with him?
Absolutely.
And isn't that a much better conversation then? We've got to sign this legal document.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so start there.
Okay.
So yes, I would tell you, if you're going into selling yourself, ask your people. Well, don't do that because I don't want you to do it. But if you were to go back and like survey your people and ask them, how much of my accolades impacted you working with me? And then say, I want you to be honest, real. Because they're going to say, yeah, of course, your experience, you're this, I want to work with you. Well, no, let's get real about it, right? Like, did you feel comfortable working with me? Was it enjoyable? Right. Did I provide value, right? Don't go into, I've been in the business 60 years, I've done this, I've done that, right? Like, very rarely will you ever hear me say anything about my real estate past. Rarely.
When I was selling over there, the area was so specific, and I always say, look, I'm seventh generation. I've been here for quite some time. I know all the sights and sounds, the back roads, the back trails, and and all that kind of stuff. That's what I kind of sell myself on, experience-wise.
That can be value if it's important to him.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. If it's important to him, that's value, not something we just say. Right? Like that shouldn't be part of our everyday script.
If he gets into something like he does, like the backpack, they love to explore. Then I would
dig in. So we talked about the menu today, this morning. So you, Jeff, have a menu of prescriptions. You have a menu of what you're good at, your value, what you bring to the table, your experience, all of that. All of that is not important to Liam. What he tells you what you need to pick and hit on. Okay. So yes, if he comes to you and says, I'm an avid backpacker, I love waterfall chasing, this and that, then you can say, hey, well, I know all the great spots. I've been here 7 generations. I've done this. I'm excited to help you know the area as well as I do.
So basically, as I'm digging, we're creating the menu of what I have, and then when I give it to him, it's everything that he's looking for.
Everything he's looking for instead of everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because when you go to Wendy's and you want chili, do you order a double?
No. Yeah. No.
You don't. You order chili. That's what we've got to focus on. And that's where I think a lot of agents talk themselves out of business because they hit on things that aren't important to the client. Right?
Especially days like, let's get to the heart of this.
That makes sense. So you know the menu and you're trying to find what's the best meal for who wants to eat.
Yeah, think about creating the menu as you talk.
You're creating the menu for that person. However, Jeff, you know your value and what you provide. It doesn't mean they need it all. Right? You need to pick out those 3 things on there that will best serve them.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So I love where we were going with that. We're going to restart. Okay. However, the one thing I would also just adjust in the beginning is letting them know this isn't a sales pitch. Okay. So how I do that and how I finesse that conversation is, Liam, I'm so excited to meet with you today, talk about your real estate goals and your vision and what you're looking to accomplish. I hope you're excited too.
Very excited, yes.
Awesome. Well, here's what's going to happen, okay? I'm going to foreshadow. Here's what happens next. We're going to talk about all that, and we're going to decide if that I'm a great fit for you to be a realtor, and if you're a great fit for me to be a client. Would that be okay?
Awesome. Yeah, it will definitely be.
Awesome. And if that rings true, at the end of our conversation, I'm going to ask you to sign 2 documents that allow us to work together legally. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
There's no more sales. It's over. It's done. Now I can get straight to strategy.
Okay.
Right? I can get straight to working for him, providing value. There's no more sales. I laid it all out up front. And I said, listen, this may be a good fit. It may not be, and that's okay. There's no more sales after that point. Sound good?
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so let's restart.
Okay.
And let's have fun with it.
Absolutely. Liam, it's so good to see you and meet you here. I know you're going to love this area. We live in probably the prettiest place in the country, I think. Of course, I'm kind of partial to it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few things here. I know that I can bring value to you, and I'm going to show that to you. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I don't like that. That's why I go car shopping at 10 o'clock at night when everything's closed. So I want to, create this relationship with you. That sounds corny.
So let's restart. I think you're doing really good. You've picked up the concept.
Yeah.
Less words.
Okay.
Get to the point quicker.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. I keep talking. I keep drawing it out. Liam, good to meet you. It's fantastic to have you come in here. We're going to sit down, and I just lost my complete train of thought there.
Aren't you glad we do this in private? This is what this is for.
Absolutely. Glad to see you, meet you, and yeah. What was I going to say? I've got it all in my mind. I just got to get it out into the.
All right, let's pause, take a breath,
Okay.
get your thoughts, and then start, because you got this.
Okay, fantastic. Liam, so good to meet you. Glad to have you here. We are. I just drew a blank.
Keep going.
Again. Fantastic to meet you. Glad to have you here. And so we're going to sit down and
Discuss your goals. You got this.
Absolutely. We're going to discuss our goals today about what we're looking for there. I know I can help you on this, and I want to.
Provide the right value for you.
Absolutely. I want to provide the right value for you. I want us to see if this, is going to be a good fit for us here. That sounds corny as well. Not a high pressure salesman. This property up here, these places up here, they sell themselves. But my goal is to get together and get your needs and wants and put the properties together that's going to match that the best as possible. Is that okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay,
That works great for me.
fantastic. Absolutely. So at the end of it there, I've got a couple of documents. If you agree with that, they're formality documents that says I'm going to be your realtor. I'm going to help you.
Absolutely.
Are you okay with that?
Definitely am.
That sounds a little.
Goodness,
I
right.
got
It's
you.
okay.
Yeah.
We worked through it.
Yeah.
Yet here's the thing. You did two things right there. You took sales out of it.
Yeah.
Once you get that out, you take sales out of it. Then you can get to work for Lee, right? Once he verbally agrees, yes, if we're a good fit, we're working together.
Yeah.
Cool. Now I can commit to working with this gentleman at a high level, right?
It's one thing to ask him the questions. Is it okay? Get permission
Yeah.
on that.
That's the second
That's totally
thing.
new.
That's the
I see.
second thing, is you're training him to say yes.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not that we want to train our people yet. It's called an embedded command for a reason, right? We want to guarantee the outcome that's best for him.
I'm making notes too.
That's good. And if if the outcome that's best for him is that he works with me, well, we want to guarantee that. Absolutely. But remember the first part of that, it's got to be a win-win. It's got to be a win for him and a win for me. Now, again, if it's me as the agent and Liam only wants to see homes on Sunday, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be the perfect fit for you because I've never shown a home on a Sunday. That's my day with my family.
Yeah.
So I'd rather turn you down now than let you down later. I'd like to connect you with an agent who loves working Sundays. That way you're better served.
Absolutely.
Why would you not want to have that conversation too? Like I think,
up front, let them know it.
I think agents are so invested in the outcome. They want them to say yes so bad because they want to work with people that they sacrifice their standards and values.
Guilty of that.
And they don't allow themselves to create wealth because they're focused on this small piece of real estate. Well, what they say yes to, they're saying no to something else. And if you're saying yes to Sundays, you're saying no to your family. Not for you, but for me.
Right.
And if I say yes to a client that doesn't match my ability, well, I'm letting him down, I'm letting me down, and I'm letting my wallet down because I can still make money while he's happier working with somebody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
You run through that again. The first part. You do that. I want to hear you. Yeah.
like the actual conversation piece?
Yeah. So how you move that through the win-win and
Awesome.
Because you can get into it like within 3 questions and move on.
That's right.
So
That's right. And that's key, right? Because
that's my problem. Is I get into it and I just want to talk. Just.
and you want to say all the right things. And here's what happens. You're saying the right things for you.
Yeah.
We're not saying the right things for them. Because there's no way when I just first met someone, I know exactly what to say to them. I have to ask questions. I have to gain permission. I have to build trust. Then I can get deeper. Where you want to bring in those longer-winded conversations is when you know them, you know their needs, you know their goals.
And you're in the car driving.
You're in the car, you're seeing homes, you're driving by places, exactly. In the beginning, we've got to learn about them. So I've got to talk a lot less. So, Liam, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How about
Awesome.
you?
I'm so excited to see you today. So excited to talk about your real estate goals, your needs, what you're looking to accomplish.
Absolutely.
I hope you're as excited as I am.
I'm really excited. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Here's what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to have great conversations. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, and we're going to get to whether or not you're going to be a great fit for me, and if I'm going to be a great fit for you as your realtor. Would that be okay?
Absolutely, it would.
Awesome. At the end of the conversation, too, I'm going to ask you to sign 2 legal documents that allow me to work for you at a high level. Would that also be okay?
Yes, it would.
Fantastic. Let's get to work.
Awesome.
See that? So
Yep.
energy, introductions, ask permission, strategy.
Okay. Cool.
Cool? All right, so let's close this out by doing it one more time.
Okay.
Jeff, if you stumble, keep going.
Okay.
Okay? Work through it. Pretend you're on camera, you get 1 take. There's no redos because
Okay.
this is a real client and they're meeting you for the first time.
Gotcha.
Go when you're ready.
Absolutely. Liam, great to meet you. Glad to have you here in the mountains here. I'm looking so forward to getting with you, and want to ask you a few questions about what you're looking for there. So make sure that we're a good relationship.
Absolutely.
We're a good fit for each other. Is that okay?
Sounds great.
Fantastic. So at the end of our conversation, if we are a good fit, I got 2 legal documents for us to sign there. I'm no high pressure salesman. I'd love to sit and ask questions. And if we're a good fit, I'd ask you to sign those documents. Is that okay?
Absolutely, that works
Okay.
great for me.
Fantastic.
Good. You got through it.
Yeah.
You went a little quick, just slow down a touch because naturally you want to talk. And if you slow down a little bit, it'll prevent you from doing
I
it.
got to slow that down. Yeah.
The other thing, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, just be aware how saying I'm not a high pressure salesman may come off.
Okay.
It might come off as how you're intending it, is that like I'm not going to push you. But it also might come off, and tell me if you felt it, because I did, as like, ooh, is he trying to cover something up? What's up, buddy?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are
Let
you?
me interrupt.
You're good.
Okay.
So just be aware of it, practice it, role play it, ask people, how did you feel when I said that? Find it how it works best for you.
Okay.
You ever go to the gym before?
Yes.
Any of us?
Yes.
Hey, were you a 300-pound bench press lifter the first day?
No.
No. You're not going to be a 300-pound bench press person in scripts the first day either. You're going to stumble. You're going to roll through it. You're going to get through it. You're going to have conversations. And what's great about practicing like this is that when you get in front of somebody, you can actually be authentic, right? Because you did the work in private, that you can just be you with them. You train those patterns to be able to be in communication at a high level,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
The worst time to think about what to say is when you're saying it. Okay? So practice that and then ask questions. Be curious. Come from curiosity. Be authentic, right? And get to what's important to the person you're talking about,
Okay.
which is never you. You should never be talking about yourself. Good with that?
Yeah.
Do you want to try it once before we finish?
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
You mind?
Nope.
All right, let's do it.
How you doing there, Jeff? My name's Liam. It's great to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I heard you're in the market looking for houses. I've got a couple things for you real quick. I just want to let you know that I'm not here to pressure you into anything. I'm not here to rush you into any decisions. I'm just here to ask you a couple of questions. At the end of this, I'd love to become business partners with you and work with you and see if we can find you a home and a place to live in the mountains. And
Okay.
that will involve a little piece of paper that you're going to have to sign for me. Is that going to be something you're okay with?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, if you're okay with that, I'm also going to ask you a bunch of questions on what house you'd like to have and a couple of questions about your family maybe. Are you okay with that as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's stop. Was that perfect?
No.
No. Is that okay?
Yes.
That's okay.
Absolutely. Right?
That's good.
A little bit of feedback.
Mhm.
Slow down.
Got it.
Sounded like you were nervous. Probably were. And it comes out that way.
Gotcha.
Okay, so just slow down, take a breath, form the thought, and then ask. Silence is powerful,
Yes.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, when you sit in silence, you get to know a lot about somebody. And as a coach, I love silence. Right? And when I get to ask questions and just be in conversation and communication and learning about people, coming from curiosity, the best thing you can do is be silent. Promise you.
That's interesting. So that's against my train of thought, and being like never pause as death to me, because if they're not saying anything, then not me. Are they uncomfortable, or they not want not like they want to tell you something, but they're afraid to.
So you start assuming, which is dangerous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because when they're silent, remember, we're not all the same. Right? People act and respond differently, and they might be processing what you said.
Because I've had that in the past with long conversations where people are naturally quiet anyway, and I'm trying to ask questions and try to conversation, and it gets too overwhelming.
Yeah.
Looking back now, it's like people are like, then they just shut down. It's like, okay, he's just
Think about
calling you too much.
think about real estate school. A lot of useless information.
Oh yeah.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you get into real estate, and it will be overwhelming again because you got to learn all this other stuff. Lucky for you, you've been plugging in.
Yeah.
However, when you first get into real estate or you first get into a new business, it's pretty much drinking out of a fire hose. It's overwhelming. Why would we do that to our clients? Our job is to simplify it. If you can't explain it to a 3-year-old, you don't know it good enough. Right? You need to be so good at what you do that you can explain it to a toddler.
Less is more.
Do less more, exactly. So, again, I think the big thing here, and I want to leave you guys with, is that repetition is key. Practice is key. Do this stuff privately and with people in practice. Because when you do that, it's going to come out more genuine, more authentic, quicker when you're actually in a real conversation. This is your first day at the gym. It might have sucked. That's okay. You were here, you showed up, you did it, you put in the reps, and tomorrow's going to be better.
Absolutely.
Good?
Absolutely. Okay, cool.
Good stuff.
That's great.
Good.